Hello everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Whitney, and today I don't even know what to say. All right, this is embarrassing. So it's been a little bit of a minute since I come over here and posted a video. I think it's been approximately 4 to 6 months, something around there. Like I posted something I think in the beginning of the year, don't remember, but let's just say your girl has been doing a lot while she's been in law school. So I'm going to talk about my 2L year. I'm going to talk about what I've done in my first semester and what I did in my second semester. And then I'm gonna let you guys know how my grades kind of transpired. There's a fly around here and it's pissing me off. So if you see me like looking off, that's what's happening. But anyways, I digress. Moving on. The reason why I haven't posted in a minute is because I'm in law school 1 and I've been doing, how do I want to say this? I've been living my life. Like that's just what it's been. Like I've been out. During my 2L year, I got a boyfriend, and then I've been doing a lot of events. I also got a job. Like your girl has been flourishing, to say the least. And the thing about it is that this is like my hobby. I love making videos. I love editing. I love writing. Like it's Whitney script for a reason, you know what I mean? So to not post videos and to not have the time or set out the time to do this has been very frustrating. And so let me just tell you about my first semester. So my first semester, I became more active. So last semester I was taking, what was I taking? Criminal, property, and something else. What was I taking last semester? I don't remember. When I remember, I'll put it all on the screen, etc. But I was taking those classes and I did not do well in 2 of those classes. Like I'm talking like, it was passing obviously, but it just wasn't up to my standards. And so last semester, this is like fall, right? I gained a position in BOSA, which is the Black Law Students Association. I was the communication chair. So I was posting a lot. I was a part of different events. I also had friends in the Latino or Latinx, I believe, student association. And I was doing events with them. I was showing up to their events, blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. I was also going on trips last semester. So like there's a lot that fed into me not doing well, but it's not like I didn't know my shit, you know what I mean? Which is why it was so frustrating to get back those grades and why it's so frustrating why I can't remember the 3rd class that I took, whatever, right? So a little bit of an update on me. I went on a trip in September, came back with a man. I went out with my friend a lot. She's the reason how I met my man. And so, just the story is history. So what I wanted to do is that I wanted to do better than last semester. And in a sense, I did, right? So I had 2 bad grades, right? 2 bad grades, yes. And I wanted to do better. So I met with my professor for one class and he told me, you knew what you were talking about. There was one question you had no idea what we were talking about, and that's what took most of your points. And he said you just didn't write it well enough. And I was like, well, fuck you too then. Like, give me my fucking grade. But I guess I learned what to do for my next final exam, right? And so one thing that I really want to stress is that, that's been put on to me was like, even though you took the final and you can't change your grade, you should always meet with the professor to see what you could have done better. Because what's important is knowing and understanding that you're not taking the course, you're taking the professor. And it's so frustrating, it's disgusting, it's annoying because everyone should learn the same content and you should be graded on your content. You should be graded on what you know, not how the professor, like whether or not the professor is upset because you use your apostrophe here and not there, like things like that. Like I feel like unless you really can't read what the hell is going on, like okay. But like at the end of the day, I feel like if you know what you're talking about and you apply it well, that's what should be graded on. That's what the importance of the final exam, because that's what we're going to be doing in the field. But like I digress, right? Like I don't create the law school stuff, curriculum. I don't create the courses. I don't create the grading. Like I'm just a participant in this bitch, right? So as I went through my first semester of 2L and I wasn't happy with the grades, But you know, it is what it was. And I was like, okay, so it's not completely terrible, but like I definitely want to do better. Like I'm talking like I got a C+ type thing, right? And it's like, oof. And I thought that I was gonna like, you know, not do well in school going forward. I thought I didn't belong. I was like, you know, like I'm not gonna get a job because people okay, this is one thing I want to let y'all know. People constantly tell you that you have to follow this conventional way of going to law school, otherwise you're not going to be successful. And I'm here to tell you that that's not true. Like, I mean, there's some things where it's like you obviously have to work for the spot that you want. You obviously going to have to get big grades. You're obviously going to have to get good grades if you want to go to big law. But like, there's just, you can still make money in different fields. You can still do well in different fields and have a life. And so that's what I'm trying to go towards, right? I'm trying to enjoy my time here in law school. I'm trying to do well in law school. I'm trying to get good grades in law school because it's important to me. I put my value in that, which I mean, I shouldn't, but like I do. And I just don't want C's on my transcript. And I got C's on my transcript. So I got 2 C+ last semester and a B+. Evidence was the other class. Evidence. So I got, apparently evidence is so freaking hard. And I did better in that class than I did in crime and property. And I thought property was so easy. That's why I was so frustrated to see my grade. I was like, you bugging for taking off so many points because you didn't like the way that I wrote it. Whatever. But I mean, if I'm being honest, another thing you need to do as a lawyer is know how to write. So I mean, okay, fine. But anyways, moving on, right? So I walk into my next semester, like the spring semester of my 2L year, being like, okay, so I have the same professor as I did from last year. I'm going to meet with him so that way I don't get another C+. You know how many times I tried to meet with that professor, separate professor, right? So I had 2 classes that I got a C+ in, and then I got a B+ in evidence. And so criminal law is what I got a C+ in. And so I was trying to meet with that professor, but he had so much going on. Like half of it was his fault, half of it wasn't his fault. Like, and he kept saying that he was gonna do stuff that he didn't do. And I'm like, yo, but I have you again. I got a C+ in this class. I'm trying to do better. I want to learn because I take the course. Mind you, I take the professor, not the course. So I'm trying to learn how you want me to write this shit so that way you don't give me a C+ again. So this whole semester, like the spring semester of my 2L year, I came in that bitch like, okay, I'm gonna work hard. Yes, I still want to be outside. Yes, I still got a man, whatever, but I'm gonna be more disciplined. And I was more disciplined. I went to the events that I went to. I say being outside. I'm trying to slow down my talking. I say being outside, but it wasn't really outside. I'm a part of this organization. And so I have to go to the events. I have to, you know, show my face. I have to, if I'm a part of the organization, I need to be a part of the organization. I need to show representation because there's not a lot of Black students at the school that I'm at. And because of such, I think it's important, you know, I'm going off on my tangent, but I think it's important to show face anyways. So I go to the events, right? And same thing, like I'm connecting with different people. I'm talking to different people. There's a lot of events. I'm planning a lot of the events. Like, I fucking hate planning events, but right? So I'm doing that. I'm still doing my damnedest, right? This semester I'm taking, or I took Trust and Estates, Constitutional Law, and Commercial. 2 heavy classes. Constitutional and Commercial are heavy, right? So I'm doing my due diligence and it comes down to finals. Finals, this is what's funny. During my 2L year, right, I knew that this was coming. So in the beginning of the year, right, I knew what was approaching in May. One of my best friends, closest friends, like my brother, who is not blood, but it don't matter, like he was getting married. He had a wedding date and then he had to change the wedding date to make it more convenient for them. That wedding date that got changed was right in the middle of finals. What did you think I did? I'm not gonna not go to one of my closest friends' wedding. Like, I personally was like, I can do this. I'm gonna study hard enough. I'm gonna study way in advance. I'm gonna make sure I know my shit so that way when I walk into the final, that wedding, taking the time out to go to the wedding won't even matter. So let me tell you what happened. I'm going through the months, right? Like I'm learning, I'm interested in the content somewhat. Constitutional law is going really slow. We didn't learn half of the shit that we needed to learn. And, you know, it gets towards final season. So we're in April. I began studying for constitutional and commercial law because those are the two most important classes, right? Trust and estates, easy. I was like, okay, I get it. I understand. So I get down to April and I'm commercial law. Okay, so let me put it like this. I had a final on the 2nd of May. I had a final on the 5th of May. And then I had a final on the 8th of May. The wedding was the 7th. That weekend. So it was on a Sunday. So that's why I was like, ooh, I gotta study way in advance. So in April, I was studying like every week constitutional law and commercial law, like trying to get ahead of it because they were hefty. Those were my 4 credit classes, and Trust and Estates was lesser than my bigger classes, like I just said, right? So I'm studying way in advance, and it's getting closer to May, obviously, you know, that's what you're supposed to do. And I take my constitutional final. Like I'm talking like I'm in the library till like midnight consecutively, even though I have work the next day. I'm like, okay, I'm prepared for constitutional law. I feel like I know it. I get in the final. I feel like I know everything. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, right? Like, and so I get out of there and I'm like, this is good. I take my final for Trust and Estates on the 5th, and I feel like I just completely, because I was focusing heavily on my other 2 classes, I did not put enough attention in this class. So I walked out of that final crying, right? Not really crying, but like really upset with myself. And then I have to fly down to a different state because my friend is getting married. They don't live in the same state as me. So I fly out Saturday. I live with my friend. I study the whole day. I study partly on Sunday. I believe I did anyways. And then Sunday night was the wedding. And it was only a couple hours. It's okay, right? And then I had to fly out Monday, the day of my final. My final was at 1:30 p.m. So let me be a little bit more specific, right? As we were approaching the wedding, I initially thought that I wasn't going to be able to go because all the flights to the airline that was like in the city that they were getting married was out of this world. I'm talking like $1,600 to go to a place that nobody gives a fuck about just because they have let me not say that, but like because they have a fucking space program. But like, I digress. All the flights going there were like $1,600. They started at like $800. It was ridiculous. And then I was like, okay, let me look at places in the adjacent states that are just like 2 hours away so I can just rent a car and drive. The issues were the time. So like I could get there, I can get to the state that I needed to get to, but coming back, it was like layovers for 11 hours. I was like, what is happening? And then I look at Atlanta. Flights for $200, flights for $100, flights for maybe $400, depending on where you need to go and how long. I'm like, am I really about to fly to Atlanta, drive almost 4 hours to where I need to be for the wedding, drive back, and then take a flight on the day of my final? Yes, I am. You want to know why? Because I just feel like, how many times are you going to get married? And this is something that I didn't want to miss. So did I sacrifice studying time to go to my best friend's wedding? Absolutely. Would I do it again? Absolutely. When I first thought that I couldn't go, I was devastated, but then I was able to go, and it was definitely stressful. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, driving those 3.5 hours to get to my destination was tough, and then driving back, it was tough. But the thing is like, I didn't do it on my own, and I had the opportunity to utilize that driving time. Well, when I wasn't driving, my boyfriend was driving, to utilize that time to study. So I'm studying, boom, 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 and then we get there, we go to sleep, we wake up, I study, boom, boom, boom. Like, I got the flow, and it was great. I got to see my old friend, like, not my old friend, I don't know why I said it like that, but I got to see my best friend, and everything worked out great, right? So I take my final. I get back here on that Monday. I take my final. I feel better than what I did with the Trust and Estates final. And I'm like, you know what? I only had 3 finals. I'm done. I was done early on. We just gonna wait. So I get my grades back. You would think that like all of my grades would have been trash this semester, but they weren't. So, and it's funny because I had a lot going on this semester. So the thing is that my commercial law class, which I think was like the second hardest class, it was constitutional, commercial law, and then Trust and Estates for me. My commercial law class was the day after the wedding. That was that final. I got a really good grade in that class. Trusted Estates, I thought I failed it. I really did think I thought I was going to have to retake that class. Really good grade. And then I get to the constitutional. Same professor, the professor that I was reaching out to tell me, you know, how do I need to write? Like, what did I miss in the previous final? What do I need to work on? Blah, 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 blah. Never got back to me. Guess what I got? The same grade. And that's the one that I was the most pissed off about, because I put in the most time for that class. I knew the content. So that's why I'm like, you know what? I don't think I'm ever going to figure out what was wrong. He's probably not going to get back to me ever again. Like, I'm just never going to take the professor again unless I absolutely have to. Because it's frustrating when you do the work to do well, and the reason why you didn't do well is because of the professor. So I'm not going to take away from what I was doing. Like, obviously I could have done more for getting a C+ again this semester, but it's just also like a little bit is just kind of like, it wasn't all me. So the bright side of this semester in my 2L year overall is like, I was so concerned about my grades, but I was able to obtain an internship that can lead and would lead to an associate position once I pass the bar. And it's in a location that I want to live for the rest of my life in. Like, I'm in a position where I'm doing the work that I want to do. It's personal injury, and I'm so happy. And this whole time I was thinking, like, you know what, my grades are not the greatest. Those C+ really killed my GPA, and I was like, I'm not gonna do well because I need to have good grades in order to get a good job. And the way that, first of all, okay, like let me brag on myself a little bit here. The way that my previous employer talked about me to my current employer, I know that I do a good job and I do it well. My current employer is connected to my previous employer because they used to work together, and my boss is a partner at my firm, and she was like, I know you're hardworking and she loves the work that I do. Like, she really gasses me, and it makes me feel great because it's like, you know what, you are more than your grades. Obviously you know what you're doing. And so the work that I'm doing, I like that she trusts me to do it. She let me write a motion by myself, and I was like, I do this? I didn't say that, but as an intern I was like, you're not gonna walk me through this? I just gotta do this by myself? And I got pretty good feedback on it. I'm not gonna, you know, listen, I'm happy that she's happy. But I'm just happy that even though I'm going the most unconventional route to becoming an attorney, I'm glad that it's working out for me. So I just want to make that clear that, you know, even though that maybe you may be going a different route, you could still become successful. And I really do think that I'm going to be, I know that I'm going to be successful. So that's the bright side of this semester, which is why I was pretty much all over the place this semester, which is why I wasn't really like filming at all this semester. I was filming, but like more so for like TikTok. So follow me on all my social medias down below. Don't forget to give me a big thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe. Let me know what you want to know about law school down in the comments below. Let me know if you think let me know what you think about this whole story. You know what I mean? Like, is all the grades my fault? I should take accountability. Will I? We'll see. Find out next time on, no, let me stop. But that's just what's been going on this semester. Like, I've been doing a lot. I've been working a lot. I'm getting paid, child. Like, I just am living my best life. So with that being said, I want to be more consistent. It's the summertime. I just need to like edit. To be honest with you, like, I just need to edit and then get this stuff rolling, because I have videos back from like January. I have a truth or drink video. I have an unpopular opinion. I filmed this video before, but I had lashes and they were like, I was like, every time I blinked, bro, like you could feel the wind. I would put in an image. It was weird, but you know, I digress. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I wasn't all over the place. I'm sorry if I was. Let me know if you want me to redo this. I might not. Hopefully you'll just understand what just happened. So stay tuned to the rest of my videos. I'm going to be talking about law. I'm going to be giving story time. I'm filming a story time after this. I'm going to be talking about a lot. So thank you guys for joining me today. Don't forget that I like to help everyone and anyone, even if it is just one person. So hopefully today I helped you guys in any which way possible. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your emails. Thank you so much for asking if I'm okay. For those of you that emailed me, it makes me feel really important. So thank you so much, and I hope hope to see you next time.